Hi, everyone. Today I'm going to read you this story called The Boy and the Sea. Last week, my grandsons, Charlie and Mason, were visiting, and we went through some of the stories that I have, and Mason wanted me to read this one. They both really enjoyed it, so I hope you guys do too. The illustrations are beautiful, aren't they? Once there was a boy who lived by the sea. The sea was old and wise, and the boy liked to listen to its whispers. Have any of you ever had the experience of holding a shell up to your ear, like the boy is there, and you can hear the sound through it? From time to time, the sea was dark and dangerous. So was the boy. Other times, the sea was tranquil and tender. So was the boy. But once in a while, the sea felt the pull of something more. And so did the boy. Looks like maybe his grandparents live right by the ocean. That's what I'm guessing anyhow. The boy liked to think, but often his thoughts turned into questions. Looks like he's examining some of the things that he found in the sand with a magnifying glass. Some of his questions had answers, maybe like the ones he's asking in school, but many did not. So he returned to the waves and their whispers. Boy, those waves are big, aren't they? The boy sat and he listened, and he thought he heard the sea say, "Dream." So he did. From time to time, it felt dark and dangerous. Looks like he's having a dream about some scary fish. And other times, it felt tranquil and tender. Kind of like that beautiful sailboat on the horizon. But once in a while, the boy felt the pull of something more. Looks like he's dreaming of being an astronaut, possibly. That's an exciting career. As the boy grew, his questions became more complicated. Answers were fewer and farther between. Looks like he's experiencing some disappointment. Maybe his soccer game didn't go great, and it seems like in that track meet where the kids are running, the boy's a little bit behind. So he returned to the waves and their whispers. The boy sat and he listened, and he thought he heard the sea say, "Love." Does anyone notice that the boy is growing up right in front of us? So he did. From time to time, it felt dark and dangerous. And other times, it felt tranquil and tender, like the love of a little puppy dog. But once in a while, the boy felt the pull of something more. Then the boy was grown. He thought by being grown, he'd finally know the answers to his questions. But he did not. He only knew more was answered in his asking. Looks like the boy has his own family now, and a dog and a cat. So he returned to the waves and their whispers and asked. The boy sat and he listened, and he thought he heard the sea say, "Be." Also looks to me like he's teaching his daughter about holding the shell up to her ear, and she's listening to the ocean as well. From time to time, it felt dark and dangerous. And other times it felt tranquil and tender. But once in a while, the boy felt the pull of something more. Once there was a boy who lived by the sea. The boy was old and wise. He liked to think, and often his thoughts turned to questions. Some of the questions had answers, but many did not. So the boy sat and he listened. The end. Well, I think that was a beautiful story. Not only did I love the illustrations, I think they're watercolors, so pretty. But I loved how we watched how the boy grew up at the sea and he returned there. I think he found that to be a really peaceful place that helped him to learn to dream and to love and to just be. We saw his whole life unfold. I hope you enjoyed that story as much as I did, and Mason and Charlie loved it, as I mentioned. And I hope you come back so that I can read to you again soon. In the meantime, have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye for now.